Today we have a very special guest here in the studio.
That's the beauty of being a fully digital podcast.
Exactly. Mr. Leonardo da Vinci, welcome to New English Podcast.
Buongiorno. Hello.
We don't have much time before Mr. Leonardo disappears back into the past, friends. So let's get straight to it. Leonardo, what year were you born?
I was born in 1452 in a small town called Vinci, not far from Florence.
It's such an honour to have you here, Mr. Leonardo. So, the town where you were born is Vinci. That's actually where your name comes from, right? Da Vinci means from Vinci.
That is correct. I am simply Leonardo from Vinci.
Leonardo, what were you like as a child?
I was restless. I could not sit still. I always wanted to know why. Why does water move that way? Why does a bird fly and a stone fall?
Sounds like a very difficult and curious student.
Perhaps. My teachers did not always know what to do with me.
Friends, restless. When you cannot relax or stay still because your mind is always moving, always thinking. A beautiful word.
And your family, what did they do?
My father was a notary, a man who works with legal documents. My mother, I did not grow up with her. I lived with my father and his family.
And when did you start drawing? How old were you?
Oh, very, very young. Drawing was my language before words were.
And how did you become a painter professionally? How did that happen?
My father noticed my drawings. He showed them to a painter in Florence, Andrea del Verrocchio. Verrocchio accepted me as his apprentice.
Apprentice? Someone who learns a skill by working with an expert. Not in a school, but in real life, side by side with a master.
I was perhaps 14 years old, and from that moment, everything changed.
14 years old, and already working with one of the greatest artists in Florence. Amazing.
I was lucky, but I also worked very hard. Luck without work means nothing.
Mr. Leonardo, you are known as a painter, but you were much more than that, right?
Much more, yes. I was first and foremost a military engineer. I designed weapons, fortifications, machines of war.
Oh my, wow, really? We think of you as an artist, not a military engineer.
Art and engineering are not so different. Both require observation. Both require precision.
Precision. Doing something in a very exact and accurate way. No mistakes, no approximation.
I also dedicated myself to music, sculpture, architecture. I studied anatomy, the human body, every bone, every muscle.
You studied the human body?
I dissected bodies to understand how they worked, how the muscles moved, how the bones connected. Without understanding the body, how can you paint it truthfully?
Just a moment. We need to explain this term, dissect. Friends, to dissect a body means to carefully cut it open in order to study its internal structure, such as organs, tissues, and how they function, as Leonardo just said.
And as an inventor, what are you most proud of?
Proud is complicated. I designed a flying machine, a solar power concentrator, an armored vehicle, hundreds of years before they existed.
An armored vehicle? Like a tank?
Something like that. A machine that could move and protect the soldiers inside.
Friends, inventor. Someone who creates something completely new that did not exist before. Leonardo was one of the greatest inventors in human history.
I simply looked at problems and asked, what is the solution?
Let's talk about your most famous works. The Mona Lisa. When did you paint it?
I began around 1503. It took many years. I was never truly finished with it.
Never finished? But it is considered the most famous painting in the world. It hangs in the Louvre Museum in Paris, and thousands of people visit it every single day.
I know. And yet, every time I looked at it, I saw something more I wanted to do.
Friends, masterpiece. A work of art that is considered the greatest someone has ever made. The Mona Lisa is Leonardo's masterpiece. And masterpiece is a word you can use in everyday English too. That meal was a masterpiece. That speech was a masterpiece.
Jacob, you are always thinking about food. Anyway, speaking of food, what about the Last Supper? Tell us about that one.
Oh, that one. I painted it between 1495 and 1498. On the wall of a monastery in Milan, Santa Maria delle Grazie. It shows Jesus and his 12 apostles at their last meal together.
It is enormous, isn't it? It covers an entire wall. Enormous means very, very big.
It is large, yes, and it gave me many problems. I used a technique that did not work well on the wall. It began to deteriorate even during my lifetime.
Deteriorate. Friends, this means to become gradually worse over time, to break down slowly. The Last Supper began to deteriorate, but it survived, and it was restored in 1999.
And to restore means to repair and bring back something that was damaged to its original condition.
I am glad it survived. It was perhaps my most ambitious work.
And the Vitruvian Man, the famous drawing of the human body inside a circle and a square. That was also you, around 1490?
Yes, I was studying the proportions of the human body, the relationship between the body and geometry, a circle, a square, and a man, perfectly at the center of both.
Proportion. The correct relationship between the size of different parts of something. Leonardo was obsessed with proportion. In art, in nature, in the human body.
Everything in nature has proportion. The wings of a bird, the branches of a tree, the bones of a hand. If you understand proportion, you understand the world.
And if you could see the world today, what would surprise you the most?
Everything moves so fast. In my time, a letter took weeks to arrive. A book took months to copy by hand. Today, you carry an entire library in your pocket.
We call it a smartphone.
Smart, yes, that is the right word. But I wonder, with all this speed, do people still stop to observe, to truly look at things?
Honestly, not always. People are not curious as before. That's my opinion.
That is perhaps the greatest difference. In my time, we had fewer answers, so we asked more questions.
And what is similar between your time and ours?
I think that people love, fear, dream, doubt. 500 years change the tools, but deep inside, people do not change the heart.
That is beautiful.
One last question, Leonardo. What would you say to a young person today who wants to create something? Paint, invent, build, anything.
I would say, do not wait until you are ready. You will never feel ready. Start with what you have. A pencil, a notebook, a question. Start there.
And if they are afraid of making mistakes?
I made thousands of mistakes. I have notebooks full of ideas that never worked. But each mistake taught me something. A mistake is not the opposite of progress. It is part of it.
Leonardo, thank you. This has been truly extraordinary.
Thank you for having me. It has been unusual, but I enjoyed it.
We hope you'll come back sometime.
Perhaps. If you have good questions, I will find my way back.
Goodbye, Leonardo.
Arrivederci. Goodbye, friends. Keep learning, keep observing, keep asking why.
Keep asking why. That's what Leonardo left us with today.
And honestly, it's not just advice for artists or inventors, it's for all of us. When you learn English, keep asking why. Why is this word used here? Why does this sentence sound natural?
Curiosity is the best teacher. Always.
Friends, if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us more than you think.
And tell us in the comments, which part of Leonardo's story surprised you the most?
We read everything. See you next time, friends.
Stay safe.
Kisses!